I think getting your advertising right is absolutely key in the current market. There's such a huge demand for talent that you have to make sure that you're not actually creating barriers, preventing the right applicant from actually applying for your job.
Yeah, I think you're right. The CIPD have come out with a stat in the last few weeks which says that 52% of companies are currently finding the war on talent more competitive than ever before. And apparently 1 in 6 companies are now saying that recruiting for critical positions is virtually impossible.
Nice.
It's becoming vital now that if you're going to advertise a role, whether it's online or in the newspaper, wherever it might be, that it's seen. And you've got to construct it in the right way because you've basically got about 30 seconds to make sure that the right candidate sees the job, likes it and wants to apply for it.
Yeah, that certainly seems to make sense. I think a mistake a lot of companies make, and recruiters alike, is putting an advert on that they possibly wouldn't apply for themselves. Are they putting themselves actually in the place of the candidate and letting them think, would I apply for that job? Are there enough benefits on offer to me? Is the job sound interesting enough? Does the company sound interesting enough? And that's a mistake a lot of people make.
Yeah, I think you're right. A lot of clients or companies that I've worked with in the past, the advice I've given them is to go online and have a look at how professional recruiters would advertise a similar role. The wording they would use for their adverts, given the fact they advertise day in, day out, would normally be pretty much spot on. So use that as a benchmark. And if your advert doesn't compare favourably, then go back to the drawing board and start again. The ultimate goal is to make sure that someone quickly engages with your role and wants to apply to it. So you have to make sure that it's written in the right way, that gets interest and gets someone saying, yeah, I want to work for that company.
Yeah, that certainly makes sense. I mean, I think where the actual advert is positioned within those job boards as well is absolutely vital. You may be thinking, why is my advert 14 places below in exactly the job that's exactly the same? And that's where it's important to work closely with the job boards, because they can give you hints and tips and criteria of how to word your advert to make sure that it's one of the first that the candidate will see.
Yeah, you've got to get your advert in the first couple of pages of a job board search engine, otherwise you can pretty much forget it. So it's a good tip, yeah.
So it sounds like the advert's probably the most important starting point.
I think it is, yeah.